what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another epic custom map battle for Total War Warhammer, and today I have a good one for you. I think I would go as far to say is this is probably the best battle you'll find on my channel for Total War Warhammer to date. For several reasons. One, we are playing on an amazing custom map. This is the Siege of Ekrund. I think I butchered that, probably did. Apologise if I did. But you may know this from another name. This is also Mount Bloodhorn, which is when it got taken over by the Orcs, it got renamed to Mount Bloodhorn. So I'm sure you've probably heard of that and seen that on the campaign map. As well as that, another reason why this battle is so good is you guys have been asking for more 2v2s. Well, here is a 2v2 with large armies. There is a ton of soldiers fighting in this battle. I think it ranges up to about 9,000 with all these creatures and huge monsters and stuff. It is truly glorious. As well as that, we made sure to give the attackers an extra 8,000 gold each. So because of that, their forces are extremely superior to our own forces. And that is to kind of speak to the scenario which we are playing. So first off, a massive thank you to the guys who helped set up this battle with me. I really appreciate it, as I kind of nitpicked to make things everything just like the way I wanted them to be. But the reason the scenario is, so basically the scenario is that the Elves and the Dwarfs came together. I know that's unlikely, but they did. They came together to eradicate the Orc threat here. They managed to do so, but lost several thousand soldiers doing it. So that because of that, their armies are extremely depleted, and the fortress itself is in ruins. When they managed to reclaim it, they were just repairing their forces, getting ready to kind of, you know, reconsolidate, start rebuilding on the land, when a huge chaos insurgency appeared. They came with beastmen and chaos soldiers alike, and they decided to invade. So hopefully the fact that the enemy forces have an extra 8,000 gold each will speak to that. And I really wanted it to make the battle to feel like the good guys have no chance. And, you know, much like in movies like in Lord of the Rings, where the good guys are just so heavily outnumbered and they have to fight so valiantly to even think about claiming victory. That's the kind of battle I wanted this to be, and I think it really, really did turn out like that. So if you did enjoy it at the end of the battle, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below and let me know if you want to see more of these battles. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the map, check out all the cool parts of the map, then we'll run through the army comps really quickly, and then we will get started in the battle. If you want to skip straight to the battle, there'll be a skip annotation down below in the top of the description, so you just click that, that'll take you straight to the battle. So let's start off by checking out what this map looks like. So we'll start off by checking out, I really love the way that there's loads of like Orc architecture around from when they took it over and renamed it Mount Bloodhorn. There's some small villages out here, we've got a few of the towers, as well as that you have like these really nice walls which kind of are still left over from the siege camp. Oh no, they're actually facing outwards, so like it's how the Orcs have kind of fortified the city itself, and all these ruined dwarven buildings. You can see up here as well how the bridge over here has been completely wrecked by the Orcs themselves, as well as that the outer wall for the fortress has been destroyed. You can get men up and around here, and all these statues are just defaced. As well as that, you can also see some pretty beautiful Orc siege towers just laying dead on the floor from the initial siege all them years ago. Somehow they've managed to perfectly be preserved. As well as that, as you move up, you have a really nice forest, I should say, which is another way into the castle itself, so the attackers don't have to just funnel through one choke point. And I really like the way he's done this. It's kind of created more choke points, but also making it feel like the city is fairly well defended without just opening it up. So I really like the way he has done that. As well as that, we go back here, and this really speaks. These artillery emplacements are perfect. I think this was an amazing thing for him to do, and really, really smart. I love the way they've done this. These artillery emplacements right here make me think about the Dwarfs in the trailer. Like half a year ago or a year ago, when we first saw the Dwarfs and we saw their cannons just shooting out from the fortresses. This is what it reminds me of right here. I think this was really, really well done, and it just looks epic having these cannons shooting from, you know, a higher position like they were meant to do, and I think that is really cool. Then as we go back, we have a pretty nice last stand right here outside the gates of Mount Bloodhorn, which you can see right there, the Dwarven fortress itself, which again looks great. And maybe one day we'll be able to go inside the fortress itself. So that is the map itself. We'll go through and run through the army comps, and then we'll get started into this battle. So we'll start off really quickly by just running through these armies. I don't want to stay long here because they have such large armies. I don't want to stick around. So we have on the front line a ton of these marauders with great weapons. They're going to be great at armor piercing against my dwarven units. Then behind that we have some of these Forsaken. They're pretty much glass cannony. They don't have a lot of armor, however they deal a ton of damage. I mean, by just looking at them you can tell that they are going to be ferocious warriors indeed. Then as we move back we have some Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and then some Chosen with great weapons as well. So some really strong infantry. They've definitely put their extra 8,000 gold to use. As well as that, the Beastman is supporting this main assault with some of these Cygors. Then behind that we have 2 Giants and a Dragon Ogre of Shaggoth, who again looks great. I can never fault Warhammer for their artwork, they always look so good. Leading this Chaos Insurgency is Archeon the Ever-Chosen, who is currently just marching around. He's decided to get off his valiant steed and just lead this battle on foot, which is pretty scary. As well as that, the Beastman army has 3 units of Bestigors over onto this left flank, but the rest of the Beastman army is situated over in the woods, which again I feel like is really nice, how they've kind of come in through the woods, marched up here, and are ready to invade, almost like a hidden attack. So we've got some of these Gore Herds with shields. Again, not the best unit in the world. They're not quite Bestigor strength. However, they're going to be doing a decent amount of damage when they do get into combat for sure, especially against the elves as well, because the elven player is actually defending these woodlands. Then as we move back, we have some of these Centaurs with great weapons. Again, looking just sheer ferociousness. I don't think that's a word, but we'll run through it. They look absolutely great. Then as we go across, we have a pack. I think is the best way to call it, is just a pack of Minotaurs. There's about 5 or 6 Minotaur units right here, which is just insane. They are so strong, and it's going to be extremely bloody. I'm not sure how the Elven Infantry is going to be able to deal with this. I'm sure they're going to struggle for sure. As well as that, we have, who even is this legendary lord? Morgoth, the Shadow Wave? Something like that. You guys could have read it. My pronunciation is appalling. As well as that, they've got some of these Gorbors supporting them. Then the rest of the line is just some of these Ungor Raiders, which will be doing, you know, not a ton of damage, but they'll also be here to absorb a lot of the Elven fire, so that's good. Now let's run through the rest of the Elven, well I guess the good guys armies, mine and my Elven ally. On his front line he has 4 or 5 units of these Eternal Guard, which again, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold the line against 4 or 5 Minotaur units charging at them. As we go further back, we have some Glaive Guard with Starfire shafts. I'm not sure if that's the armor-piercing one or the one which slows them down, so some more of them. As well as that, we have some War Dancers. These are going to be good at destroying the Minotaurs, which is something we desperately need. We have a Spell Singer of Life to go ahead and regenerate some health. We've got a Waystalker. Then we've got some of the Wildwood Rangers. Then we've got some of my Hammerers as well, and if we look at the rest of my Dwarven army as well before we go back, I've got Longbeards on my front line, I've got a couple units of Quarrelers, I've got a unit of Hammerers, and then some more Longbeards with a Runesmith ready. Just look at that shot right there, as the entire Chaos and Beastman army is just facing down apart at my brave Longbeards right there. That looks glorious. Got some more Quarrelers right there. Then we'll make our way back to the kind of the last stand that we have set up. I have 2 units of cannons which are in place, which look great. There are some more of these Waystalkers right there. And also they've got some more of these War Dancers. Then we've got a whole bunch of these Rangers set up along with Durfu. We've got a Regiment of Renowned Bite here with Peak Gate Guards who have come down from Carrick 8 Peaks to support us. Well, I guess across from Carrick 8 Peaks because they're kind of almost level. We've also got the Norgrimlands Ironbreakers who are in their beautiful red paint, and then some more Ironbreakers here, along with some Slayers left, right, and centre. I've got the Regiment of Renown, the Dragonback Slayers, because I know the enemy are going to bring a lot of soldiers. As well as that, we also have some of these Harpies, which are kind of just hiding around there to annoy us, which I'm sure they definitely will do. But here we go. Let's start this battle. I'm so excited for you guys to watch this, because it was just such a fun, exciting battle, and hopefully that intro, for those of you who watched it, wasn't too long, and you're still ready to watch this battle unfold, because there is a ton of soldiers. I think if we take a look, we can see that the balance of power is hugely against us, and they also have 5,000 attackers and we have 4,000 defenders, but our 4,000 defenders are not as well equipped as the rest of their forces, that is for sure. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is going to be pouring in. and tearing through my front line with his ferocious swings with that battle axe. That's going to be hard for us to deal with. I don't actually have any slayers up here whatsoever, which was maybe something I should have thought about and had some slayers immediately to answer all these creatures. That's something I should have definitely have done. Luckily though, my quarrelers over here on this left flank are going to be getting perfect shots off at the troops standing by ready to cross this bridge. So they're going to be doing plenty of damage. If we look at the beastman advance over here, you can see it is already fully underway. The arrows going flying out, but the minotaurs, the goddamn minotaurs, look at them. We need Legolas here to take down every single one of these guys because my god, there are so many. These minotaurs are going to be doing huge amounts of damage, that is for sure. The centaurs coming down to support the battle line as well, along with another Cygor. Oh my god, there are so many Cygors. Maybe this Cygor has been summoned, that would make more sense. But the Centaurs and the Bestigor chariots are ripping the line apart. Luckily, these war dancers are going in, which are going to be able to do at least some damage to the enemy line. All this elf player has to do is hold and let his archers do the damage. However, that's going to be a hard task when the Minotaurs and the Gorbal are just ripping through the line already. Oh my god, and a huge magical explosion there. I'm actually going to stick it on slow-mo because there is so much action going on right now as this elf just gets sliced in half and his legs just go flying from the battlefield. My god. The Cygors are throwing in. They really want to try and break this battle line right here, and they're doing a great job of it. The sheer just, quality of the Beastmen troops are just overwhelming us right now. If we go back to the gate, right, or not the gate, but we go back to the bridge where my Longbeards are holding along with the Runesmith, you can see we have a giant up here now who is going to be just tearing apart my front line. I really should have brought up some Slayers to help me out here. Forsaken moving in along with some of these Marauders with great weapons, which are again a mighty foe. My Runesmith is not giving up though. He is fighting hard. He has been ordered by the White Dwarf, who is my general, which I forgot to mention, to hold this line as best as he can. And he will give his life if that is what was required of him to do that. The Dragon Ogre is ripping apart my front line as well. Luckily, this is keeping some of their soldiers in place for my Quarrelers to destroy them. Maybe it would have been a better idea to bring some Thunderers to deal with these creatures, which is something I kind of forgot to do. The Quarrelers are unleashing their volleys at the enemy lines. Taking down this Dragon Ogre and the Giant is going to be their job, and they're going to be trying their best to do. As you can see, we've actually managed to do a lot of damage to the soldiers just standing here with my Quarrelers, which has been great. But, I mean, we're being overwhelmed. As well as that, more Beastmen are pouring out of the engagement on this right-hand side. And it is brutal. The sheer numbers the enemy have are just overwhelming us right now, and we are just trying to just slow them up as much as possible. That is definitely our goal right now. And you can see the right flank is immediately starting to break down. A unit of my Slayers is having to go in to try and deal with these Minotaurs. I'm bringing over the Slayers because I saw my Elven ally was struggling, and I felt like sending in this unit of Slayers because it's our only real hope of dealing with them. If the Minotaurs overwhelm us here, our entire flank will be destroyed, and all these soldiers will be getting wrecked. As well as that, the Beastmen are descending upon us with Harpies, destroying our artillery emplacements. And this is a great move by the Beastmen, because this is going to stop me from shooting any of their up-and-coming units which are pouring through this gate. So doing this with the Harpies is really smart. We're going to get some War Dancers in here to help out, which is definitely desperately needed. But these Harpies have caused so much damage to the front line that I'm not sure that we will recover from that with our artillery. If they can rout that, that'll be brutal. We've got a Dragon Ogre just ripping through the back of my Dwarfs right here. I believe this Dragon Ogre was actually routing. However, it has created a perfect path for the Beastmen to try and break through my Dwarven line. Luckily, the Longbeards are holding firm and doing as best they can, but they're getting smashed, absolutely smashed by the Cygors and their rocks. The Cygors did so much damage during this battle of just disrupting my formation. It was brutal, and I'm going to see this, and I'm going to decide to try and pull back my hammers as best as I can. You can see I'm also bringing back some of my Longbeards as well, or my Quarrelers. I've decided that the bridge is lost, the outer walls are lost, the Chaos forces are overwhelming us, and there's not many men left remaining. Even Archeon himself has rushed into battle to rally the soldiers. And there is only a few Dowie left defending, and they are going to be fleeing for their lives very, very soon, which is not going to be great. That is going to allow the enemy force to completely push in and start attacking the main wall But I mean, the main wall is already being under attack right now by the sheer Minotaurs. There's so many of them. The Centaurs themselves are going to be pushing around the flank, which is great. That's going to be doing so much damage as they get a nice little outflanking shot. We do have some treemen here holding along with the rest of the soldiers, along with the Dowie as well. The Dowie are being pulled back. I really didn't want to have to commit my Hammerers here. I felt like the Hammerers were just going to get wrecked if they stayed in this engagement against Minotaurs. Obviously, the Hammerers are anti-infantry, and being up against the enemy line, Minotaurs and creatures, isn't their forte. But I mean, the Harpies over here are slowly starting to get dealt with, but we needed to kill these guys quicker so that our cannons could start shooting. I believe they managed to rout one of my cannon crews, and one of the cannon crews do come back. But imagine if I had these artillery emplacements shooting right now, focusing down that giant, focusing down that Dragon Ogre, and the Minotaurs just ripping through that line. The Minotaurs are definitely being the MVPs of this battle right now as we make our way down through the battles. The Centaurs get a perfect charge into the back of my guard right here. My Crawlers are going to be trying to run the hell out of here. I believe that the Treemen are doing nice amounts of damage at holding up the Minotaurs, but I believe they are starting to run a little bit low on HP. A lot of these Ungor Raiders are just utter useless now. They're kind of just acting as cannon fodder, which is great for them, but our outer defenses are not looking great. I believe we have a few soldiers, a few brave Dwarfs are out here defending as they get completely surrounded, which I am super impressed by that they managed to hold out for this long. They are definitely not giving up lightly, and they are brave warriors right here. But I mean, we've got a Gorball coming across here to try and put an end to them, but there is no escape for them. They will give their lives here, and that is a certainty. There is nowhere for them to run, especially as this Bestigor chariot gets charged in the back and rips through the main line. That was brutal. Is this Khazrak? Is this Khazrak, or is this just a Bestigor chariot? Let's have a look. Oh, Razorgore, sorry, not Bestigor. Razorgore, I apologize for my mispronunciation. So the enemy lines have already started to advance onto our final defense. It was crazy how much they overwhelmed us to begin with. That is exactly what I wanted to happen. I wanted the enemy just to be so strong that they could push through here. And the Cygors are ripping apart my Iron Breakers right now with the sheer rock throws and the weight of their weapons. It is brutal as more and more rocks just come flying down and whittling down our final defense. Luckily, we have a ton of rangers left remaining, and we have definitely caused damage to the enemy lines. Even though it doesn't look like it, we have definitely done damage. A lot of their units are weakened and don't have much left in them. At least their front lines don't. My Dwarfs have fought bravely. We have some Hammerers still fighting over here as well. So even though it doesn't look great, our archers and our quarrelers and our cannons and our organ guns have still done plenty of damage to their lines. So even though it is looking like it's definitely going to be a loss for us, there is still hope, even if it is just a fool's hope. And we will fight bravely to make that happen. The rest of the Chaos Army is pouring across along with these Cygors. Again, just giving me PTSD, the amount of damage they are causing to my front line. As we click play once again, you can see they are finding a direct hit on more of my Iron Breakers. And at this point, I am losing a lot of men. I'm trying to get back my Quarrelers as best I can to open up on the enemy lines. A Gorball has managed to make it around the side onto these Quarrelers right here. But these Quarrelers are actually out of ammunition. They managed to fire off every single bolt they had in their arsenal. So I kind of almost just sacrificed these guys to hold up the rest of the enemy advance. We have some brave Longbeards here, almost enveloped but fighting bravely as the... Oh, look at the giants pouring in. As well as that, the Treeman has done a great job. The Treeman's actually fighting against these Ungor Raiders, so he'll be doing an amazing job here, sending them left, right, and center with his roots. My Longbeards still holding, which I was so impressed by. Seeing these Longbeards managing to hold the line was great. And as well as that, I've also got some soldiers still holding over here, just about, but they are holding. Or actually, they may have just broken me. They've just actually broken me over here, which is going to free up more of their forces to pour into the city itself. And the Cygors, those goddamn Cygors are still going. They are laying waste to my front line here. Luckily, now that my numbers are so thin with these Iron Breakers, there aren't actually much of a target for them to hit at now. So a lot of these rocks are actually missing, but also some of them are finding direct hits, and this is just brutal to to watch my dwarfs getting smashed. I think some of these spells are going to be getting off on my units to try and bring them back to some health, but it's not going to be great whatsoever. These quarries are out of ammunition now, and they're pulling out their weapons to receive the charge against these marauders with great weapons. And again, I almost just left these guys here to act as some form of like, I guess, some form of distraction whilst these organ guns open up on the enemy advance as they break through our defenses. You can see the giants coming in, as well as that the iron breakers are getting ready with their satchel charges. There's not many of them left, however, they're going to make these chaos warriors pay as they advance onto our line. Along with the elven arrows, this is going to be a great time to destroy and dismantle this unit and send them flying. I am immediately though going to be telling my iron breakers to hold fire, as I do not want them wasting their ammunition, because they've got plenty more enemies to kill. My organ guns are setting up again, reforming up to try and get some better shots off on the enemy advance. But I mean, if we just take a glimpse from their point of view, that does not look good for us. That does not look good for us at all. If we look at the balance of power, you can see it is definitely in their favor. They have almost a 3-to-1 advantage on men, and they also have a ton of minotaurs. So this is going to be our final defense. We have been pushed back, and we need to hold the line. The Cygors coming in again, just doing huge amounts of damage, and the entire main enemy line is charging in. I am going to be getting my satchels out very soon. The elves are coming in to aid us with their rangers, which is great. The elven charge is not going to allow us to get destroyed that easily. I believe, oh yeah, all the elves have now committed their entire force as the entire enemy army is just pouring. Look at it. It literally is just endless. There's so goddamn many of them. And I think that just looks great. The giants are going to be fighting, ripping apart my main line. However, it's satchel time. I did hit the back of our elven line by mistake. However, look how much we have just melted the back of the enemy line right here. The battle sounds seem to have gone off, but I just think it's because the replay was a little bit messed up. Because there are so many units, it is going to be a little bit laggy. As well as that, there's a beautiful spell going off. I'm not sure, this is Dwarf's spell, I believe. Which is Flock of Doom. Yeah, an amazing Flock of Doom right here done by the Spell Singer. This is going to be doing so much damage, especially with all the satchels coming overhead. A combination there is giving us hope. These Iron Breakers are obviously a regiment of renown. They are extremely strong. However, the Gorballs, along with the rest of the enemy soldiers right there, are just so dangerous. Luckily, we do have a few treemen left to try and tank some damage, and I've moved up my slayers to try help out. But this is just, there does not look like there is much hope whatsoever. The elven archers are trying their best to kill as many enemy forces as possible, and I think that looks great right there. I do also have a unit of hammerers still remaining in the back line. Just shoot as many arrows as you can. Hopefully they are going through this wall which is in place. I do still have a unit of hammerers remaining which are ready to pour in and just try and act at any gap that is appearing in the battle line. But I mean, these Cygors are going in now. I think they're out of ammunition, so they're making their way up. Dwarf himself is just wrecking fools. I love the way Dwarf's animations roll. I love it when he picks them up in his foot, which he's doing exactly now as I said, and just crushes them and drops them to the floor. I think that is great. There's a long-range satchel right there. That went deep. As well as that, my Slayers are involved. I want to try and get these Dragonback Slayers out as soon as possible, because at the moment they are just fighting against these Chaos Warriors, and the Chaos Warriors will kill them. I need the Slayers to fall back and actually focus on, say, these Giants or these Cygors. So that's definitely something I need to try and do. I'd much rather my Cygors my Dragonback Slayers take the hit from these Cygors than, say, the Elven Infantry, because the Elven Infantry is great at defeating the enemy infantry, which is something we definitely need to happen because there's so many of them. If we press K, however, we can see the balance of power is slowly starting to shift back in our favor. We are actually routing a large portion of the enemy force, which is great. You know, whittling them down is perfect, and that's exactly what we need to have. We are down to 900 men, and they still have 2,000 soldiers. Oh my god, this is going to go down. It does not look great for us. Dwarf is falling back, as I believe he's pretty low right now. No, he still does have half health, which is not bad. However, we have managed to corner the Beastman General, who is, I believe, somewhere around here. The Beastman General is right here, and he's been surrounded by my Slayers, by my Hammerers, and by the White Dwarf himself, which is great. If we can maybe kill the enemy generals, we can maybe rout their superior numbers. However, gaps do start to appear in our battle line, and the Cygors have pushed up. I'm hoping that my Dragonback Slayers can deal with them and send them to the Dark Abyss. I think we just managed to take down one Cygor right there, or I think at least some cannonballs hit them. We have set up our cannons right here, which are shooting into the engagement, and I think that just looks so goddamn good. It's so annoying that the sound's not working right now, but I'm sure I would have in place some of my own music here to make up for it. But I would love to hear the battle sounds of men screaming as they are fighting this huge threat. Another cannonball, that was a direct hit on their head. Wonderful. The organ guns as well, just going out, trying to whittle down as many of these soldiers as they can, if they have any hope whatsoever. And I'm hoping you guys can see why this battle was so great. The enemy general is getting, the enemy general is routing, so killing that beastman general is going to be great. However, Archaon the Ever-Chosen is somewhere around here. He is also in the battle, so maybe if we can get to Archaon, that's going to be great. However, the enemy, the Bestigors, are going to be pushing down this left flank where a gap has been created, and they're going to be pouring into my side. That is really smart by the beastman player to see this gap and just beeline for it. My Grumbling Guard, which are the Hammerers, are going to be trying their best to try and plug this gap, but it is just a tap right now, and they are pouring through. They're going to be charging up to fight against my organ gunners, who will hopefully form up one last time to get a volley off, but it's not looking great. They are also going to be charging in the back of these woodland rangers, and this is not looking good whatsoever, but we will fight hard. We are Dowie. We will fight to the bitter end. And we actually managed to slay the enemy general. If we take a look, we can see we managed to slay the beastman general, which is sending the beastmen into a threat. They don't know what to do without their general leading them, and they are running from the battlefield, which is great, but we have lost so many men right now. If we take a look at how many men we have left, we can see that we only have 500, and they had 2,000. But I mean, we are breaking the beastmen, so that is almost one enemy down. They do still have a lot of these Cygors and these giants remaining, but if we can just carry on, stay true to ourselves, then we might be able to clinch victory here. It is going to be close. If only we had an army of humans turning up now to support us, or maybe even Thorgrim sending a force. There are quite a few of these gore herds as well with shields, but again, their morale is easy to break, so we can maybe use these guys to master out the enemy line. Right now it is really the chaos which scare me, and I mean, these giants are still causing a huge nuisance, but we have managed to plug this gap on the left hand side. The organ guns are up and back operational again, shooting out, which is great news for us. The white dwarf is smashing against these chaos warriors. I believe he's going to be trying to find Archaon wherever he is on the battlefield. The white dwarf knows that he needs to break Archaon. If we can kill Archaon, the battle will be ours, and that is really our only way of victory right now. The music seems to have returned, which is glorious to hear as the soldiers fight hard. The Grumbling Guard fighting hard, and these Treemen and Durfu are just trying to tank as much damage so that our soldiers can fight on. But I mean, let's just take a look. Look at the amount of dead bodies that are laying here. This battle was so brutal. Another Flock of Doom, I believe, going down, or maybe not. What is this? Is this Stand Your Ground? Let's see what this is. Can we see what it is? We can't actually see what it is right now, what the spell is. Maybe it is still casting, but it will hopefully be doing damage to the enemy line. The giant and the Cygor just wrecking us. There's just so many creatures. A bunch of Thunderers would have been great to have here as more of the enemy forces push down this right flank. I believe Durfu is extremely low. Yeah, Durfu is low, which is not good whatsoever. So they are going to be charging forward a lot of these beastmen to try and do it, but Durfu is not going to go down without a fight. My siege crew are even having to go in right now because they are don't have any men left whatsoever, or any ammunition left, I should say. So even the siege crew are having to go in and fight, and the bodies are piling up. You can see the burning in the distance just from the amount of dead. The Grumbling Guard are doing a great job. These guys are the Grumbling Guard, right? I'm not just mispronouncing them. No, the Peak Gate Guard, sorry, are doing a great job. I apologize for mispronouncing them. They're doing a great job in this flank, and they're actually going to be able to push back some of these Chaos Warriors and completely wrap around the flank, which is great news for us. But our lines are thinning. We do still have some of the Regiment of Renowned Iron Breakers which are holding, as the giant just breaks through the darkness right there. Oh my lord, this looks so good. A Dwarf, unfortunately, you see some routing Cygors in the background. These maps are just always so amazing. I mean, look at this right now. This is Total War Warhammer to me, and it is just spectacular. I'm having so much fun fighting and recording these battles. They are just great to watch. This giant is getting smashed down, so we are definitely thinning out the enemy lines. If we take a look at it, the balance of power has still kind of remained the same. We are down to 300 soldiers, but we have 300 brave soldiers. Archeon is on, I guess, 2/3 of his health, and my white dwarf is also on a half health. So he can definitely, if he just gets some good hits off, he can maybe break him, and we can master out the enemy line, especially with his tree man still going in. I believe Dwarf is actually running away as we speak, as we have a Cygor chasing him down. Yeah, we actually have a Cygor chasing down Dwarf, and some of my Dragonback Slayers are trying their best to kind of give Dwarf a bit of a break and hold back this Cygor so that he can run away. Dwarf is going to charge in against these Bestigors, and he's going to dismantle them. Even on like no health, Dwarf is a mighty warrior, and he is just ripping them apart. That looks great. Along with his allied treemen right here, they're doing a perfect job at whittling them down. I believe we actually managed to maybe deal with them. The giant is still alive. However, it is not looking good for us at all. We are definitely losing soldiers, but we do have some regiments of renown, which are great, mighty warriors. These peak gate guard are now surrounded by the Forsaken and the Chaos Warriors. I believe Dwarf has just gone down. Yeah, we saw him just drop there. So Dwarf is down. The elves are going to rout. However, the dwarfs will not rout so easily. They will fight to the last if that is what is required of them. You can see that the Dragonback Slayers are in here, along with the beautiful Regiment of Renown, which is the Ironbreakers, and they will fight hard as we are just getting overwhelmed. This treeman is still alive, and that giant is just doing so much damage. And I think one of the main reasons as we get destroyed here and overwhelmed by the Chaos Hordes, I think one of the main reasons we lost this battle was because of them Harpies. Taking out our artillery early on meant that we couldn't really deal a lot of damage to these giants, and obviously I should have brought a load of Thunderers as well to kind of help this out. But again, this battle wasn't super serious. I did try to make it a bit more tactical than before as we watch the final stand of my brave warriors outside the gates of Mount Bloodhorn, and the sound does return to us, which is great. It's so annoying that the sound cut out, because I wanted to kind of show have that epic sound in there, but it was not to be, apparently. If we take a look at kind of just the battlefield itself, we can see the amount of dead laying there, where the elves fought bravely. We can see so much dead bodies there, where the Minotaurs just ripped them apart. We got a beautiful defense in the gate right there, the bridge itself, this little defense over here. It was just such a good battle, and I feel like hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I did that battle justice, because I think it looks glorious. I mean, just look at that to the left of your screen. It was so epic. Maybe I didn't do it justice. Maybe it was a bit too fast. I'm not too sure, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let's see what the units kill-wise got, and we'll take a look at them. And yeah, let's see if anyone got loads of kills. Yeah, the guards. What have you guys? I keep on messing up their name. I do apologize. The Peak Gate Guards, Hammerers, yes. They got 206 kills, which is great. This Organ Gun racking up 280 kills, nice. The Ironbreakers, again, the Ironbreakers got ripped apart by the Cygors, so you can't really expect them to do too much. However, the Regiment of Renowned one got 186. The Longbeards doing okay. Again, they were up against a lot of creatures, so they might not have done the best in the world, but they definitely did okay. But all three of these Cygors getting tons of kills. The Minotaurs, look how many Minotaurs there are. Fucking 6 Minotaur units were just so brutal. And I mean, we managed to deal with the infantry pretty convincingly. And oh my god, the Razor Gore Chariot getting 185 kills. That was pretty great indeed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.